In this video, we're going to look at properties of exponents and specifically rational exponents, meaning fractional exponents. In the first example, we have x to the third times x to the negative 1/5. The properties for exponents, if we have the same base, our base is x, we're going to take 3 plus our negative 1/5, because when we multiply, we add the exponents. So then we have negative 1/5, but 3 is really 3 over 1. And we need a common denominator. Well, our common denominator is 5. So we have x. We have to multiply the top and bottom of 3 over 1 by 5. So top times 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 5 is 5. And then we're going to add that negative 1/5 to it. So 15 plus a negative 1 is 14, and our denominator stays the same. So it's x to the 14/5. In our next example, we have division. So when we divide, we subtract the exponent. So we have y to the negative 1/4 minus negative 5/8. And that becomes y to the negative 1/4. Negative times the negative is a positive 5/8. And again, we need a common denominator. So between 4 and 8, 8 is the common denominator. So we need to multiply 1/4 times 2. So we have y, negative 1 times 2 is negative 2, over 4 times 2 is 8. So there's our common denominator, plus 5/8. And negative 2 plus 5 is 3, and then our denominator stays the same. So we have y to the 3/8. Our next example, we basically have 1 over z to the 3/7, and we know that if we move that z to the top, it becomes z to the negative 3/7 power. In our last example, we have a power to a power, so we know that we're going to multiply these together. So we have y to the 2/5. And then we're going to actually multiply those exponents together, so 4/7. And 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 7 is 35. So y to the 8/35.